Throughout history, pickup trucks were built to haul, to work, and to last. But every once in a while, someone in Detroit decided that wasn't enough. They wanted noise, power, legacy. These are the 6 engines that didn't just move trucks, they moved America, the most legendary pickup power plants ever made. 5.9-liter Cummins 12-valve inline-6, Dodge Ram 1989 to 1998. When Dodge introduced the 5.9-liter 12-valve Cummins in 1989, the entire truck world changed overnight. Before that, diesel pickups were slow, smoky, and built only for farmers. But this mechanical beast brought something new: torque. Over 400 pound-feet of it, with a turbo whistle that still sends chills down diesel fans' spines. The 12-valve Cummins didn't rely on electronics, just pure mechanical injection, cast-iron everything, and the kind of over-engineering that made it nearly immortal. It wasn't fast, but it could tow a mountain, and there are trucks today with over 1 million miles on their original block. Tuners discovered it could handle over 600 horsepower on stock internals, and diesel competitions across the US were soon dominated by Rams powered by this very motor. To this day, enthusiasts call it the million-mile motor. And in many ways, the 12-valve Cummins is the reason diesel performance exists at all. This was an engine built for eternity. Cast iron block and head, forged internals, mechanical injection pump. It didn't care about temperature, altitude, or mileage, it just ran. Farmers, truckers, and tuners fell in love with its simplicity and reliability. The 12-valve Cummins didn't just make Dodge relevant again, it started the diesel performance movement, the engine that built an empire. 4.3-liter turbo V6, GMC Syclone, Typhoon, 1991 to 1993. In 1991, GMC shocked the world with a truck that could outrun Ferraris. The Syclone packed a 4.3-liter turbocharged V6, derived from the Chevrolet LB4 block, delivering 280 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque. It used a Mitsubishi TD06 turbocharger and Garrett intercooler, paired with a 4-speed 4L60 automatic and all-wheel drive. 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.3 seconds, faster than a Corvette or 348 Ferrari at the time. It was the first true performance pickup, running a quarter mile in just 13.4 seconds at nearly 100 miles per hour, unheard of in 1991. The AWD system gave it razor-sharp traction, while its suspension stayed firm and flat through corners. Only 2,995 Cyclones were ever made, plus 4,697 Typhoon SUVs. It was fast, dark, and mysterious, a sleeper that defined the 90s. Even today, it remains one of the most outrageous engineering statements GM ever made. It was quiet, dark, and brutally quick, a black box on wheels. Today, the Syclone stands as a symbol of what GM could do when it forgot the rules. A tiny turbo truck that made the world's supercars nervous. 8.3-liter Viper 510, Dodge Ram SRT-10 2004 to 2006. No truck in history captured insanity quite like the Dodge Ram SRT-10. Under the hood sat the 8.3-liter Viper V10, an all-aluminum monster producing 500 horsepower and 525 pound-feet of torque. It came with a Tremec T56 6-speed manual and rear-wheel drive only. No traction control, no safety net. It was a muscle car disguised as a full-size pickup. 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.9 seconds and a top speed of 154 miles per hour. Officially the fastest production truck on Earth. Each cylinder displaced more than 830 cubic centimeters, nearly a whole Geo Metro engine. The bore and stroke were 4.03 times 3.96 inches with a 9.6 to 1 compression ratio. It had 22-inch wheels, massive brakes from the Viper, and a body kit that looked straight out of NASCAR. Fuel economy was a miserable 9 miles per gallon, but nobody bought it for that. 7.3-liter Power Stroke V8, Ford 1994 to 2003. The 7.3-liter Power Stroke didn't win hearts with speed, it earned them with loyalty. This 444 cubic inch turbo diesel V8 produced up to 275 horsepower and 525 pound-feet of torque. It was the perfect blend of simplicity and endurance. The block and heads were cast iron using a Garrett GTP-38 turbocharger and a 17.5:1 compression ratio. Ford's HEUI injection system, powered by oil pressure instead of electronics, gave it efficiency and reliability unmatched in its era. The 7.3 became the backbone of Ford's Super Duty trucks, powering fleets across America. It could tow 12,000 pounds and idle for hours without overheating. Mechanics loved it because it was easy to fix and nearly impossible to kill. Many owners reported over 700,000 miles on the original engine. When it was discontinued in 2003, Ford fans were outraged, and they still are. Today, clean 7.3 seconds sell for more than newer Power Strokes. It's remembered as the last truly bulletproof diesel before emissions choked the industry. The 7.3 wasn't fast, but it was immortal, a mechanical monument to American durability. 7.4-liter big block V8 Chevrolet 454 SS 1990 to 1993. The Chevy 454 SS brought muscle back to the streets in 1990. A 7.4-liter 454 cubic inch big block V8 producing 230 horsepower and 385 pound-feet of torque. Pure displacement, pure attitude. It used throttle body fuel injection, 8.0:1 compression, and a 3-speed TH400 automatic. Rear-wheel drive, short bed, regular cab only. The first models came only in onyx black with red graphics and red interior, a modern muscle look for a new decade. 0 to 60 miles per hour took 7.7 seconds, fast for a full-size truck in 1990. It had heavy-duty suspension, 275 wide tires, and massive torque delivery from idle. It wasn't meant to be refined, it was meant to be raw. Chevy fans loved its simplicity, just a giant motor, loud pipes, and rear tires begging for mercy. Later years added more colors and slightly more power, but the original black 454 SS remains iconic. It started the modern sport truck era that inspired everything from the SVT Lightning to the Ram SRT-10. 5.4-liter supercharged Triton V8 Ford SVT Lightning 1999 to 2004. The SVT Lightning was the truck that made boost mainstream. Ford's 5.4-liter Triton V8, topped with an Eaton M112 supercharger, produced 380 horsepower and 450 pound-feet of torque. It had a 9.0:1 compression ratio, air-to-water intercooler, forged crank, and heavy-duty internals. 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.2 seconds, quarter mile in 13.8, top speed 147 miles per hour. In 1999, that made it the quickest truck on the planet. The sound was unforgettable. That supercharger whine became a national anthem for gearheads. It wasn't just fast, it handled. Bilstein shocks, lowered ride height, and a limited slip rear gave it real precision. It could haul 5,000 pounds, commute daily, and still beat Mustangs off the line. The Lightning proved that performance and practicality could coexist. Ford built just over 28,000 units, every one of them now collectible. Later, it inspired the Raptor and the modern Raptor R's supercharged 700 horsepower V8. 6 engines, 6 stories, 6 chapters of American power, from mechanical diesels that refuse to die to turbocharged sleepers and V10 lunatics. Each of these motors represents a moment when engineers stopped caring about rules and started chasing glory. They didn't just move trucks, they moved an entire culture. These engines are history forged in steel and boosted by madness, and they'll keep roaring long after everything else goes electric.